Alright, so when we left off, we had started setting up the blenders for turbo fuel, but I'd also managed to not think anything through at all in regards to like how exactly we're doing that. So let's see. So the heavy oil residue is coming in batches of 30, and we have access to it over here in batches of I think 400. So if we divide 400 by 30, we get 13.3 blenders per batch. And 13.3 times 45 is 600 turbo fuel a batch. So that works out perfectly on both levels. So we're going to have batches of 13.3 heavy oil residue. So yeah, we're going to have batches of 13.3 blenders, and then that'll take one tube of heavy oil residue into one full pipe of turbo fuel, and then the sulfur and petroleum coke and fuel can just sort of be along for the ride. So we will need 0.3 blenders per batch. We need 45.8 blenders total. So that's 3 batches plus 13.3 times 3 is 40 plus 5.8 blenders. 3 full batches plus 5.83 blenders. Alright, I think actually that works out perfectly in terms of how the heavy oil residue is split up. I have 3 batches of those plus a bit of extra spare. So let's start getting these blenders set up. Set that to Zoop. And off we go. So this is 2. The input is on this side. Okay. I almost flew out of range. Because this power line isn't actually hooked up to anything. Alright, so now that this power line is hooked up to things, so I can fly around here safely. So we have another one of these. We line it up, so that's 4. We line that up, so that's 6. And we bring power over. We need to expand this out even more. I wonder if there's a map border over there that I'm going to run into. That line up. Alright, so that's 8. 10. Ooh. Got too far off again. So we bring the power along. And continue expanding the foundation out. how many do we have? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. $12 and 13.3. So this last one is set to 15 a minute. And then we hook them all up to the power. And so this is one set of blenders. Just need another 2 of these. And then a small one. Also, we need to hook the pipes and the belts up. So let's do that. Hooking pipes up so that they can actually access the resources. And continue along. And there we go. Now for the belts. What size belt do we need for this? 22.5 times 13.333 is approximately 300. Which means that tier 4 belts are, no, not valves. Tier 4 belts are enough. I'm not going to fix the ones already in place because there's no real reason to do that. Just gonna place a whole line of belts. And then another whole line of belts. If only tileable blueprints existed, please. It would be the coolest thing ever. Alright, so that's that. And now we need to get these pipes, which are, for some reason, tier 1. Which is horribly inconvenient because it means I'm going to have to run through and fix all of these. Also, some of these look like they're connected, but they aren't. So that's a nightmare. Because these are doing the false overlapping thing. Alright. So I think this is the one that's wrong. No. Not like that. Yeah, so every time I see this, those two pipes are not actually connected. So you get torn apart. You get put back in. You get torn apart. You get put back in. You get torn apart. You get put back in. Okay. Not looking forward to having to do this another billion times, but we've done it. We now have that. So, the next step is to actually hook the resources in, which means finally going out to grab the sulfur. So I guess we can start with this petroleum coke, which shouldn't all be set to 71%. That's not right. One, two, four, six, 8. Yeah, so there's a fun little mistake that I made. Let's undo that. Why is it filling my inventory up with the petroleum coke when all I've done is simply change the production percentage? Alright, let's clear that junk out. So we have 240, 360, 480, 240, 360, 480, 600. So these are Mark 5 belts, carrying 400 there, and 240, 360. No, so wait, this is 600, this is 400 and some. So this first one can be used to feed exactly 2. You loop around here. And this is the smaller one. So we make that regular size, shift it over like that, and we send it into the machines. Actually, no. I want the smaller one to be the last one over that way, which means I want this one to be the last one over that way. Yeah. So let's take that apart. And let's drag this one over. And send it into the machines. And then this one will go all the way over that way. Get rid of these random conveyor poles. Alright. So next thing this needs is I need to get the rest of the heavy oil residue up there. So we already have one heavy oil residue pipe heading up. We need the other two. I think it'll be easier to just send it directly upwards through a floor hole. So let's get a floor hole like here-ish. And then you go up through there. And you get pumped. And the pump gets powered on. And we're just going to do the rest of this now. Don't technically need it until later, but it's just way more convenient to do it immediately while we're doing the other ones. And up you go. Out through the top you go. That needs to be Mark IIs. And another pump. Now we have to head over this way to the last remaining unused pipe, which is right here. And not a wall hole or a wall support, but a floor hole. So let's get it out of that. And up there. And power it up. Attach it to a power pole, which you can be upgraded. Alright, so now we have all of the heavy oil residue on this floor. We cruise over here. We grab one. And we bring it around. Have it mesh up nice and neatly here to save space. And we bring it around and up and in. Alright, now we have to grab the fuel. How much fuel is this? 687.5. How much fuel is used for this? 15 times 13.3 times 13.333 is 200. Alright, so yeah, this main pipe can fuel the 3 normal ones, and then the extra one will get the little mini pipe. Alright. So that's fuel. Now the only thing is sulfur, which I have not actually started mining yet. I mean, I think I've put miners on it, but I haven't actually done anything with them. So now we're going to have to head over and grab that. Let's fly over here. And the sulfur is pretty much directly west of me, up by that geothermal power. We're going to have to swap to jetpack mode to get there. So 1,000-ish sulfur. I think we'll probably set it up in the same way as the petroleum coke, which is a belt of 600 and another smaller belt of 400-ish. Alright, so we have these machines aren't powered on for some reason. So let's hook them up. Alright, so that's 600, so that's one belt. That's 400-ish, so that's another belt. And I guess that's all we need, right? This is pure, that one is normal. Yeah. Alright, so we don't actually need the third sulfur thing. We are going to need a painfully long Mark V belts. And I guess this can be another one. It doesn't need to be, but it'll be easier to just use one type of belt unless we run out of aluminum, which is a real possibility. Alright, so that we have to get all the way over there. It's a bit of a journey. So let's start by getting them off of this giant. So start by getting them down there. Alright, so then that goes down. And then that goes down. And at this point we are on like approximately the right level. Hang on, let me blow up some terrain features real quick. Alright. We keep on going. And I think I'm going to just build a sky bridge over to them, because that seems like it'll be a lot simpler than dealing with terrain the entire way. You head off to the edge of the sky bridge. You head off to the edge of the sky bridge. Then we expand the sky bridge. And keep on going. Now we're going to have to move the sky bridge to avoid the giant mushroom. Let's get over there. No, not 4. Alright, so you twist around like that. And then keep moving. Ah, sky bridges. What fun. It's been a while since I made a good sky bridge. In my previous world, like, everything was all sky bridges all the time. Like, I basically just ignored the planet when at all possible and kept everything floating in the sky. It was really quite convenient. Alright. Let's keep on bringing these guys. And they keep on coming. I sure hope my aluminum sheet production will keep up. I sure hope it's producing at all. I have had problems with the aluminum sheet production stopping in the past because fluid side products are annoying. Alright, now we have to turn and head this way. So we turn and we head this way. And we keep heading this way. Alright, and now we head just like a little more this way, probably not this entire distance. Yep, this is far enough. And we turn back this way. Alright. Keep them coming, keep them coming. Alright. We are basically here. Now I think we just bring that to the edge and bring them down onto the factory foundation itself. And now this left one is the one we want to use for this. And it goes in. Swap back to hover pack mode now. Ooh, that's no good. We're gonna have to fix that. Gosh, it barely works, but it does work. And now we have our blenders blending. Alright, so that is the first row done and active. So now we just have to make another 2 rows of this and then another smaller row. And something like that. Let's set up the foundation first. It's going to require a whole lot of foundation, believe it or not. So let's get that. Just a bit more. The good news is that this time through I won't be constantly falling out of the sky because there is actually power there already. Alright. Now, is this enough space for a second row of blenders? That is the question. We might need another row or 2 of foundations. Blender manifold. Yes, it does fit. It barely fits, but it does fit. Okay, so that... I would like these to be a little more spaced than usual. 2, 4. So this row is going to be a bit longer, but it needs to have a bit more space, because otherwise the back line will be annoying. Motors are a problem just because we use a lot of them for this blueprint, but they only stack up to like 100. Aluminum casings have a similar problem. Okay. Here, while we wait for those things to show back up, let's run over here and hook the power up to these ones. So you're a power pole that is just sitting there doing nothing. So I'll make you useful. Alright, so we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we need 2 more blueprints. Which is apparently going to be a problem. Please line up. Where is the line? There's the line. It says missing aluminum casings 100. I'm clearly not missing 100 aluminum casings. So that's 12. And then this will be 13 and 14. Alright, aluminum casings, please show up. 9, 90, 100. Alright, place that. And we hook the power poles up. And let's grab... No. Inventory. Let's grab some of those into my inventory, because it'll help them. It'll give me more of a backlog of them, so that hopefully the next row won't require quite as much waiting. It'll only help a little bit, but it will help. So in the meantime, we add all the Pipeline Mark II. Pipeline Mark II's being added. Alright, so that's that. That's the front done. Now we have to do the back, which I foolishly made somewhat poorly, and also very much uncomfortably close here, but it will work. It's just a bit tighter quarters than I would normally prefer. Alright, let's grab some more of those. Let's grab some more motors. So no backlogs here. Alright, now we will set the belts up. Drag them in. Drag snagging belts is quite satisfying. Please. Don't do weird stuff. Thank you. Alright. Almost done. Alright, so that is that. So we need... I think just a regular splitter will work there. So you get that. You also get a splitter. Like there. In you go. And then we take fuel and heavy oil residue. And pipes. What fun it is dealing with pipes. Alright, heavy oil residue now can come out. Apparently not that way. Alright, you can do a horrible twist down there. I'm going to have to upgrade these to Mark II pipes. Run back and upgrade the other set as well. Oh boy. What fun. Spaghetti piping. This is incredibly cursed. But we got there. And everything is flowing in, and the machines are turning on, temporarily at least. Alright, that is a second row. Success. Oh god, this is horrible. This is legitimately terrible. Well, let's not worry about that. Instead of worrying about that, let's get started on a third row. And hopefully have enough free space this time. We are awkwardly close to this mushroom. But probably gonna be fine. Alright. The good news is, once the turbo fuel is made, everything is a lot simpler. Alright, so let's continue dragging this along. Looks like we're gonna run short on concrete and iron plates. Speaking of running short, give me some motors and some casings. Keep those coming. Alright, concrete is being slow, which means it might actually have straight up run out. Or, no, I didn't upgrade the I never upgraded the belts into the concrete dimensional storage. That's annoying. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait. Is there anything else I can do here? I guess I can set up the resources going in. Alright, so... Oh, I needed to make these Mark II pipes as well. Alright, so we get Pipeline Mark II. We get Pipeline Mark II. And then we have a splitter and a splitter. Alright, so then that has to go up a bit to get over there. Alright, so we have that at least. We have all the resources for our third production line. And now we can head back over here, and we spent enough time that should be able to finish off this foundation. 8. Or not, apparently. Alright, sulfur is full. Heavy oil residue is the bottleneck, somewhat as expected. So eventually all of these pipes will fill up with turbo fuel, and these will also fill up with heavy oil residue, which should hopefully mean we don't have to worry about manifold shenanigans too much. Yeah, I really messed up not upgrading that concrete. The concrete belt. That's a horrible oversight. Well, I guess in the meantime we can just start plopping these blenders down. By the time we are done with that, we'll have enough concrete. Alright, let's get you... We have more than enough space this time, which is nice. Let's get the start lined up at least. Wait, these recipes also need 21 concrete each? Why? Well, not much I can do about that, but yeah, we are going to be waiting on concrete basically forever. So that's 6. Now we wait on concrete. Good news is waiting on concrete means we aren't having to wait on anything else. 8. The joys of having messed up your dimensional storage. $10. Alright. 2 more batches of this. And we should have enough space to place them without having to make more foundations. That's 12, if I'm counting correctly. And soon this will be enough. 19, 20, 21. Place. I could have sworn I had a coffee cup in my inventory. No, not that one. That one. Alright, so now we hook these up. And I need powerful Mark IIs. Alright, so now all these machines are hooked up. How's power looking, by the way? Yeah, capacity is much, much lower than max consumption at the moment. But is still very comfortably higher than actual consumption. So that's nice. Alright, now we have to hook these up. So you get all of your belts. I think I may have made these too compact. Like, normally compact things are nice to look at. I think this Blender blueprint might be a bit too much. Like, to the point where it just looks messy. Alright. Now we add the pipes in. And all the while we're doing this, concrete stores are replenishing. So we got that going for us. Alright. Alright. So that's that. Now we hook these guys up. And then we hook these guys up. Which is like there. And then that one comes a bit further out and around. Alright, so that is all of the major... Actually, I'm doing the pipes wrong. Heavy oil residue pipes don't work like that. Because they're each 400. So I actually need... I messed up the heavy oil residue pipes. I need to grab separate pipes for each of them. From here and there. Alright, so you can come along there. You can please hook up to the thing, thank you. And you can come along there. So the whole branching everything off of the original pipe works for fuel, not going to work for heavy oil residue. Okay, we can squeeze this in. Oh, it's a bit tighter quarters than I would have liked. Stop snapping to stuff. I don't want you to snap to things. I just want you to be built. Alright, so then you can twist around there. You can twist around there. You can twist around there. Yeah, I think we're probably going to need some height for these. Alright, so if I tear that out, I can hook this. Can that go over? Yes. So I can hook that. And then bring it there. And then down over that. And then up into there. And that's heavy oil pipe number 2 settled. Then we have to disconnect that. And take this. It's going to need to go higher up, though. So we'll stack some supports up. And bring that over there and attached in there. Alright, that is all of these heavy oil residue pipes hooked up properly. Consumption is going a bit up. Makes sense. This is a very power intensive production plant. It looks like everything is set up. Oh, I need to fix this. Oh, it works. Oh, that's incredibly disgusting. The smallest pipe segment ever. But we have made it to a fully connected third row of blenders. So now I have 40 blenders, and I think I need to set the last one to low production on the second 2 rows. I did it for the first one. You are set to 15. You are set to 15. And you are already set to 15, right? Yes. Alright. So that's 40 blenders. Effectively 40 blenders. All set up and functional. Now, I actually think I did the math wrong on these. Right, so 13.5 times 13.3 is 300. Yeah, so these can support 2 each, which means that that isn't right and that isn't right. Those are what the second row of stuff is for. So you hook along like that. You go under and hook in like that. And that should be good to go. Alright, so what's next is the mini row, which I'm gonna have to deal with these guys real quick. Don't want to get shot at while flying around the base. Fortunately, I seem to be far enough. Alright, for a while there, he was not reacting properly, but he did figure it out. But I got him. Alright, let's see if we can snipe this other guy back here. I mean, that was way too low. Alright, we're still within range out here. Alright, cool. So now let's set up. I think I want the mini row to start after the mushroom, just for the sake of both like the ending being over there-ish, and just for not having to deal with the mushroom being in the way. So we have 40, so now we need 5.3, which is pretty simple. We just go 2. Give you a little bit of extra space. That's 4. Give you some space over this way. And 6. And now we float down. We set this last one to, what would it be, 40? No. 35? No. 37? 38. No, it's 83.333. 37.5. Cool. Alright. And that. Now we just need to finish hooking this one up. And hook that up there, that up there. Please go in the... Why are you being unreasonable? Please just be normal. Alright, so the belts are good, pipes are good. I don't even know if these need to be Mark II pipes, but copper sheets are not currently a meaningful bottleneck, so I may as well. Alright, next step is get you a power pole Mark II, and you can hook into all of those so that they have power. Now we have to head back and find the random scraps of the resources. So this is the fuel. The heavy oil residue is there. So, gosh, this is miserable. Well, I can get rid of this because it doesn't do anything. That'll clear up some space. So let's get a stackable pipeline. Stack you up pretty high. And you can go there, and you can go there. Alright, and then we take these to another stackable pipeline, like out here, which hopefully will be close enough. It's not. So we need an intermediary pole like there. No, not you. There's gonna be some fixing to do with this. Alright, so then you go up there, you go up there. And then they can come down. Around there. And then make the curve. So they curve around, point towards that. And now these were the two smaller batches, which is good that these are the ones we want. So we get, first of all, just a bit of foundation around here. So you can both branch out. And then curve around here. And you sneak in through there. Now everything is all set up to take this the last bit of the way. Why would straight mode do that? Let's get foundation on this part so I can control it better. So I want you to come around like that. And then straight in. And then you come around like that, and then in. And then you go around like that, and then in. And you go around like that, and then in. And we've done it. Everything is all hooked up and ready to run. Alright, so the blenders were... Alright. We have a couple other massive blender steps, but we have the turbo fuel now. So next we have to get the nitric acid, which is going to involve the nitrogen gas and all sorts of other complicated nonsense. So let's see here. That goes down there. Just trying to sort this so I can see what has to be done. Alright, so we need to turn iron ore into pure iron ingots. Do I have iron ore on the foundation? No, but there is some right over there. And I think I'm just not going to bother with pure iron. I think I'm just going to be inefficient for the sake of not having to deal with water pipes and all that. Let's bring power with us, because we are going to need it. It'll also make it just easier to travel by hover pack. Alright, is that the iron? No, that's a copper patch. I've passed over the iron. The iron is right down here. Cool. So let's plop down a miner Mark III. Power it on. And build a stretch of foundation to work on here. So we need a conveyor lift floor hole. And we can stick that like right there. And we can conveyor lift down to there. And put the conveyor lift in backwards. U in reverse mode. Alright, so how many smelters do I need to get 57 point something? Is it just one? It might be just one. Iron ingot. No, it's two. Alright. Smelter manifold. Alright. And then you can go like there. You can feed into that. Iron ingot, iron ingot. Them up to a power pole, hook the power pole up to a power pole, and set one of these to, I guess the second one, that's my convention, to 27.292. Alright, so that's the iron. Now we have to find where on earth we put that rubber, which we had earlier. Alright. This doesn't look like it's making rubber. This looks like it's making rubber. Yeah, okay. So we take this, we bring it out here. And I guess just out onto the terrain. Oh. And we stick a random floor hole in. Alright. So now we have the rubber. And we need to get some spare fuel up here for recycled plastic. Alright, where's the spare fuel? So this one is the last fuel pipeline, which means it'll be the one with the spares. Alright, so now this can come along over here. And of course, it's all on the wrong side. Alright, so get rid of that. Have it facing like this way. Alright. Pipeline, go up and around. So you are set to recycled plastic with a production of 11.458 per minute. And you get powered on. Rubber is showing up. The fuel is technically showing up, but not insignificant quantities. And I mean, a pipeline Mark 1 should be more than sufficient for that. So we take, so this gives us plastic. We take our plastic and our iron ingots. And we need an assembler manifold, which we might be able to squeeze in here. Yes, as long as it's facing a funny direction. Alright, so we can squeeze our assembler manifold in. Alright, and then that comes around and in like that. And these are coated iron plate. Power those on. Why is fuel being so slow to get here? It's tough to say, but we're getting plastic. And this second one is set to 52.8%. So now we take the iron plate, more water, and the nitrogen gas. flew out of range of the power poles. Let me just like stick a random power pole out in that area. So I have to take these. Looks like whatever was being a problem with the fuel seems to have resolved itself. Alright. So we have iron ingots. So we have iron plates here. Uh, 114 of them. Surprisingly. Use is fast. So we have those. We have water somewhere, probably. Like 300 water. Is it possible to blow these things up? I'm not sure that reached, but I think the answer is going to be no. Oh, the answer is yes. Fantastic. That gives me a lot more space. So much more space. It also gives me a awkwardly floating power pole, but we'll deal with that. Probably. Yeah, so that can get removed. So we need a batch of 11 blenders for this, which is pretty significant. Can we fit 11 blenders in this way? No, and we wouldn't want to because we need a huge amount of nitrogen gas for this, so it's going to have to come in a bunch of batches. Let's see. Nitric acid is 120 nitrogen gas per blender, which means batches of 5, I think. Hang on. 120 times 5 is 600. Yeah, so it'll be 2 batches of 5, and then an additional batch of the spares. So let's have an actual power pole there. Alright, so we need to get far enough out to not clash with the other existing line of blenders. Now, fortunately, 2 batches of 5 is not actually all that much. And power pole's not reaching. Alright, let's blow this guy up. Sorry, mushroom. Alright, so now we have this. And concrete problems again. Of course. Of course we're having concrete problems. Let's see, we should be able to place our blenders, although this isn't turbo fuel blenders, but it's close enough that it'll be easier to place them and change them than it will be to make entire new setups. So that goes there. And that's 4. Does that actually clip with the power pole? Yes, it does. Alright. And we're going to need concrete here for this to look good. Oh, concrete. How I wish I had an infinite supply of you. I might... Is there, like, conveniently limestone around? There is. Alright. Let's go on a quick tangent. Which way was it? Yeah, it was this way, right by the edge. There is a limestone deposit, and I can set that up with dimensional storage. We seem to have gone right over it here. That's fine. We will just have to craft a stupid portable miner. Alright, let's craft a couple of these. Craft a couple of these so that it'll be another couple times before we have to worry about them. I probably should automate these at some point. 8, 9, and 10. Right, that works for me. Now we plop our miner mark 3 in. I have to get rid of that whole section of pipes. And hook that up there. Now we need foundations. We need to build foundations for our constructors to make concrete to make foundations. Alright, well, let's get these in. I think they face this way. And that even works, which is pretty cool. So we power everything on, and we tell them to make concrete. Control C, paste, paste, paste. And let's make these belts faster to carry all of this. 240 a minute. We're not using 240 a minute. We're using 180 a minute. Still pretty sizable. 15, 30, 45, 60. Alright, so that can sneak along under there. And then into a storage container with a dimensional depot on top. And a Mark II belt. So this will accelerate it quite a lot. So now, theoretically, we'll have like 180 concrete upload speed overall. Obviously, while it's still filling, it'll just be 120, but regardless, this will accelerate things consistently. So, now that we have better access to concrete, we can fly back over here. And what were we doing here even? Nitric acid. Control V, Control V, Control V. And right, this is supposed to be a batch of 5. It's currently only a batch of 4. So let's get this in there. And don't want to have to make this Mark II later. Alright, so how much nitric acid is this actually? Not all that much. Two, three, four, 5. So it's like 150 nitric acid. Yeah, total production is 343. Alright, so then that last one is not necessary. Are these connected? Is that a little mini pipe in there? Probably. Kind of looks like it. Now we need nitrogen, water, and iron plates. Hey, what's up? Not much. We are setting up a rocket fuel power plant, which we've been doing for a while now. And we are making really good progress. And yeah. Alright, so we need... How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. Yeah. I'm doing pretty well. I'm setting this up. Shouldn't be too long until... Oh, flew out of the jetpack range. So let's hook that last one up. Streaming is going well. You know, just hanging out, having fun, as usual. So we need to get the nitrogen gas in here, and if I remember correctly, one of these nitrogen gas pipes is not 600 and the other ones are, so that's sort of a landmine that I'm going to have to deal with. Alright, so let's see, this one out here. Please just give me power so I can jetpack up this way. Alright, so I need to inspect these to see... So this one on the far left is being used for the cooling production. So how much is it? That one is 100. So that's one of the 600s that's being used for that. This one on the far right is also 600. The one in the middle is only 300. Alright, so I don't like that. I don't like that we're pulling from the from one of the full ones. Yeah, thanks for the follow. I don't like that we're pulling from one of the full ones for other purposes. So I'm going to disconnect that and pull from this middle one, which is already partially used, so that middle one will be the only one that is partially used. The external two are both full pipes. Alright, so now we can figure out these guys. I pulled them a long way around the exterior, but not going to need them to go all the way around there. We bring them up. I started streaming like a month and a half ago, maybe. I don't know, I haven't exactly been keeping track, but somewhere around there. Alright, so you three get up there. And then come around. Pull up the terrain. And there you go. Alright. Alright, the nitrogen is on the platform. So now we take this one, which is one of the full ones, and we pump it in there, and that is that entirely used. So now we need to just get the water and iron plates. If you're acting kind of suspiciously, I have some problem with like scammers in my chat, so if that's what you're up to, you know, you can just leave and don't worry about it. Alright, where's these iron plates? Here they are. And it has to be a Mark II belt. Alright, so then this can go up a ways and over there. And down. And the entrance to this is technically on the other side. Alright. So then that loops around in there. And eventually the iron plates will make their way along. And before that, we have to find where on Earth the water supply is from. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, so I have to figure out where my water supply is. So I need to pull up that. Just want to add some of these guys here. And what were they doing? So I had this line of fuel production, 200. How much fuel production, how much water is going into this fuel production? Because that seems 693 point something, right? So it wraps around the edge. So that's this batch of 3, which should be like 360, 120, 240, 360, and this batch of 2, which is 240, so 360 plus 240 is 600, which isn't quite enough. we're going to have to overclock this to be 300. And I'm sure there wasn't another thing connected to this. Let's overclock it to be sure. So now this is 120, 240, 420 plus 300, which is 720, so that's good enough water for that. Then we have this thing. Oh yeah, so this is 480 water here. And it was providing some for this, but that shouldn't be necessary anymore. So I can take that off. And 480 is more than enough for what I'm doing over here. Yeah, let's blow up another mushroom just to get it out of the way. Into a thing. Alright. You can sneak around there. And then up into this area. And attach into that. And that should be more than enough water for one of these. 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. Yeah, so we have more than enough water for this. Now we just need another line of these blenders, which is going to involve more concrete. But hopefully with the additional concrete dimensional storage setup, we should be able to manage this a lot more easily now. Alright, let's get a little bit of extra space. Alright, now we need to just set up a second row of these guys. So that's 2. Please stop losing power. Where's the power pole? You come back here. And you attach into that. So, back to where we were. We have 2 blenders, 4 blenders, 6 blenders. And we hook the power up. We hook the pipes up. Not like that. That's ugly and gross. Just hook them up like a normal person. Alright, then hook the belts up. And we run around the backside and we hook these pipes up. Which is like that. And like that. 45, 90, 180 something. I don't think Mark II pipes are necessary. I'm going to use them just in case. Alright. The last one is not necessary because we're making batches of 5 here. Alright, now we head around here. And you get a junction, and you get a junction. And they come around like that. And in you go. And in you go. Now we just head over. Alright, we have to get the settings along. It's interesting, you can actually see the thing you're blending in the top. I never noticed that before. Alright, now we can take... Please, let me build things, thank you. Alright, so now we take the conveyor belt along. Oh. Right. This is reversed from the other one. Which means I actually need to put the plates in on this side. Which is a little bit awkward, but not a big deal. So you can not go straight through the support. You can come around. And then up this way. And then in. Alright, that is 2 lines of nitric acid. Now we need just the tiniest bit more. So give me some space here. And we can get... That's even way too much space, but whatever. Get you in. We will power you on. Set you to nitric acid. Set you to nitric acid. And set you to 45.8%. And alright, we actually have to hook. Yeah, so that's the wrong nitrogen gas. Because each one of these needs their own dedicated gas pipe. So that goes in there, and that's good. And I believe the water pipe, the single water pipe for the entire thing, is sufficient. But now we take this nitrogen gas pipe, which is the little leftover one. You can come out of being in the middle. It's an annoying place for you to be. And you can creep around here. And up and in. Next off, we need some water, which I can actually just conveniently grab from the middle of this manifold. That's that. And which way is this running? This way. So we need to get the plates over here as well, which again I can grab out of the existing manifold and sneak them under the water pipe and in. All right. So that is a whole bunch of pipelines of nitric acid all set up. Is this working at... It looks like the plates are working at full speed. Approximately, yeah. So I'm going to wait for those to fill up so that manifold problems don't be a problem, because boy, these are going to be some crazy manifold problems if we don't let that happen. Actually, let's speed it up a little bit by throwing some plates in ourselves, which will probably make foundations slightly more annoying to build, but not a huge concern. Yeah, these manifolds are going to take forever to fill. And that's assuming that I've even done it all right and it's working at all. But we have nitric acid, which we can actually combine into a single Grand Mark II pipe. And I guess it makes sense to do that. So let's run that along like that. And hook everything up. So now we have our nitric acid pipe. We have a couple of turbo fuel pipes. And the next step is to blend them in another gigantic set of blenders, which I think makes most sense to do on another floor, although it is going to require some pumps. Power is still looking completely fine. And by completely fine, it's like kind of sketch. Let's pick up these random remains, just so that they are not floating in midair above my factory. Alright, it looks like some of the plates are starting to manifold properly. So this will back up, and then that will start to back up and receive more priority, and then all of this will be solved. Alright, so for now let's get another floor going, because this floor is a complete clusterfuck. So let's get, like, here. This is as good a spot as any to build our wall up. Got to be sure to clear the refinery towers. Alright, so we can head over here to grab the turbo fuel pipes. which somehow should be reachable. Although this last one is all the way over here. Alright, so let's get some floor holes in. And you go up. And you get pumped. And the pump gets powered on. And that's one turbo fuel pipe. Now we have to do the rest of them. Set them like there. Like there. And like there. And then they just head straight up. And that is 3. Alright, and we have to not valve. Why would you want a valve there? Now we put the pipeline pumps on. And we find a convenient power pole like this one. We upgrade it so it has the space, and we go boom, boom. Will it reach the far one? No. Boom. Alright, so that is that. So we have the turbo fuel on this floor now. Now we head over here and we just very easily get, now we can just very, very simply get this up here with a floor hole. And up you go. And it's no longer a gas, so it's gonna need a pump. And power the pump on. Alright, so now we have everything on this floor. Now we need, first of all, to get some space, and then to check out the blender recipe to figure out how many batches that's going to be in. Alright. And so this is rocket fuel base recipe. 100 rocket fuel per blender means we're going to make these in batches of 6. We're going to make these in batches of 6, which means we're going to be using turbo fuel in batches of 360, which is like awful. So that means we're going to have, we can split it into, oh gosh, that's annoying, but should be fine. So if we're making these in batches of 6 and we are making 34.375 blenders, so that would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, so 5 full batches of 6, and then we take all of the random spare stuff and finish it off that way. Alright. So 1 full batch of turbo fuel, because those are 600, those pipes are 600 full. So it's going to be like more, almost 2, but not quite. That's kind of a headache. Frankly, it's more than kind of a headache. It's like extremely a headache. Okay, well, guess we will start building this out. Actually, is rocket fuel... It is a gas, which is marginally convenient, I guess. Alright. Let's think... I guess the batches of 6 will be out this way. I could make this hop in like over there. So yeah, instead of that floor hole being there, I think it would be more convenient for it to be like all the way over there. And then this can sneak along on the ceiling and up into that. And make sure that this is marked 2. Alright, and we take that apart. And then we have that sticking out there. So now this gives us more convenient space for our blenders to start. And let's make a specific blueprint for this, which will be a blender with 2 liquid inputs, so it would be like... Do I have... I just want to add a specific... blender for I just want to add a specific blueprint for just 2 fluid inputs. Apparently I don't. This is also going to have a solid output, which I'll need to deal with. So let's get rid of all of that. Run around the back. Make these Mark II, because they should have been from the start. Actually, this doesn't work because I need more space. I'm gonna have to just make it from scratch. I'm gonna have to make it from scratch because I need more space on the back side than I did for that one, and less on the front side. So yeah, these ones can be evenly spaced between front and back. Alright, so let's pull that and then over to there. And upgrade that to tier 2s. Set these to rocket fuel and rocket fuel. And we need mergers for conveyor belts. Which should fit through here. Yes, quite comfortably, in fact. And we hook those up. Hook those up. How much is this going to even be total? Like per batch, it's going to be 60. So tier 1 belts are actually fine. All right, and then we head around to the front. And we have two fluid pipes here. And that goes there and there. And we have another one, which is up and lines up on these crosses. And goes down and in. Then we have a power pole Mark 1 connecting the two machines. They're both set to rocket fuel. Alright. Rocket fuel blender. I guess I'll call it manifold, although that's kind of redundant because that's like everything I make. Alright, so now we have that. We can actually start setting these up. So this is 2. And we're going to need way more horizontal space, of course. Alright. So this is 4 and 6. Oh, I messed up. I made the entire input Mark 1 belts like an idiot. I really wish you could just like edit blueprints in the world and not have to have this specific blueprint designer building. Why is that there? That's horrible. Alright, well, I'm gonna fix this one and then set up a blueprint designer and fix the blueprint. Alright, blueprint designer. Load me a blueprint. Alright, so let's get these all in. Alright, now that is all fixed, and I can save that, overwriting the other one. And we're good to go. So we now... This is the front side up, so we hook it up to... Wait, is this the small one? Yeah, this is the small one. I don't want to mess with the small one just yet. So we hook it up to that. We bring this one around. And hook that one up. So that is one line. We need to bring power just up onto this floor in general. Boop. And power them up. Alright, that is one line. We now officially have rocket fuel. Let's connect the outputs up. Alright, one line of 6, 5.5-ish to go. So let's keep on building this out. And build it out the rest of the way. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have like 3 blocks here, and then we'll take the excess just out of the ends of the manifolds and recombine them to make another 2 and a bit blocks. So let's get another rocket fuel blender, which is 2. Four. 6. Easy as pie. Now connect the edges up. And reconnect the back up. And then we go down here, we connect power poles up. And we take this, take that along, connect that up there, and that down there. And that's another set. Another set done. Alright. Next up, we do batch number 3, which is just 1, 2, copper sheets, 3, alright, now let's start with the power lines to give the copper sheets some time to recover. And we need a couple to link everything up, of course. Alright, and then we go there. And we go there. And we go there and there. And we make that extend out the rest of the way. this pipeline, extend it along. And that goes in there, and that goes in there. And that is another batch of rocket fuel successfully completed. Alright, so now comes the somewhat tricky part, which is the remaining 2.5-ish batches. I think, right? 6, 12, 18, 24, 36. No, it's like 1.5 batches. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Yeah, no, it is 2.5 more batches. I'm just bad at math. So let's get these foundations extended out. So we are going to need to recombine the pipes, because at the end of each of those pipes, the main ones, was 600 turbo fuel, and only 360 was used, which means that at the end of each of these pipes there's 240 turbo fuel, which means there's like 720 turbo fuel left over. And then there's also this one, which has a little bit of excess as well. So let's drag this one over here. Oh boy, cheap viewers, what fun. Goodbye. Alright, so now we have this, and I think it'll probably, if I just have these all go into a big pipe, like this pipe can't hold all of the fuel, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to balance between the stuff that is already in there. Alright, so this pipe has whatever turbo fuel is left over in it. Which means it should be good for transporting the remainder of the stuff. And we can do the same thing, actually, with a sulfuric, or with a nitric acid, but even easier, because it all fits in a single Mark II pipe automatically. What we can do is just drag this along. Make sure to have it at altitude. And that should be that. So now we can set up 2 more full batches and 1 partial batch. Just drawing from this. Do you read this chat? Yes, I do. Alright. We are making a bunch of rocket fuel blenders. So let's make sure there's enough space to be comfortable. And 2, 4. And we might be going a bit off the edge of the world. So that's fun. Alright, so that's 2, 4. Sort of did overkill on the foundation there. 6. Oh, you say on YouTube? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I have not so many windows. My my current setup is I have Twitch chat open at all times, and then I have the YouTube chat and my like the factory blueprint thing on the same window, so I have to switch between them. So yeah, I didn't see you. Sorry about that. Alright. Get that set up. Oh, thank you for the follow. Alright, so then we just stick that in. You get access there. You get access there. And power. Which goes in there. And then goes along. Alright. That's one. And of course we have to hook the output up as well. We're going to have to deal with the solid output as well for all of these. Because I completely forgot that it had solid output while I was doing this. But, whatever. So we've got that. We've got that. Let's do the last full one. So we got that. 2, 4. And then extend the foundation out. And get another one of those in. Now we hook that up. We hook that up. And we hook that up. Alright. So that is all clear. Now we just take that in there. Take that in there. And we power the machines on. Alright, so the machines are all powered on, and then we have the final set, which is 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. It's 4 and some, which is actually going to involve me placing the same number of manifolds. So that's kind of annoying. Alright, so we have that. Extend it out. This is going to need to be extended out a little bit. But I didn't mean to do that. Alright, and then we have that, which is 2. Aluminum casing shortage is imminent. And motor shortage is also happening. So I guess let's get everything set up we can while we wait for the casings to show up. So we get that. We get those connected and those connected and those connected. And are the aluminum casings here yet? No, not even close. Alright, in that case, we will start hooking up the solid outputs up together, which needs to be done for all of these, and then they're going to need to be sunk. Alright, and that hooks up there, and then we fly back over here. And it's a little hard to get to line up properly. Just to select it, because it is a very condensed thing, but there's not really much you can do about that. You just have to aim carefully. So what do you need all this power for? Well, basically, phase 5 stuff. So currently, my max consumption is way up here, and my capacity is way down here. So as you can see, that's a bit of a problem. So, the solution to that problem is lots of power. And then hopefully once I do all of this, I won't need to worry about power ever again, and we'll just be good to go. Okay, so we need... should have the aluminum casings by now to place down the last blender blueprint. Yes, we do. And in it goes. And we hook it up. And we hook the output up. And we hook that up. And we hook the power up. And now we just have to bring the actual inputs in, which are like there and there, and you have to be Mark II, of course. Speaking of which, I didn't mess up any of these with Mark I pipes. No, it did not. Alright, so that is all the rocket fuel made, although this last one is overkill, so we need 37.5. Alright, so now we have all that. We get to build a quick little spot for a sink. And I think we were going to try to merge a couple things into each sink, just so I don't have to have a billion. Don't do that. Alright, so you go like there. And you can come around and go in. And you can come around and go in. And that last one will need to be upgraded. And we will need to power the sink on, and that is that row all sunk. Now we have to head back and do the same thing with this row. And hopefully just in the same way, just a nice little patch over here with a sink on it. And a merger. And power the sink on. That is... This is going to have to go over that. No, not like that. It snapped onto the existing pole. So you go up and stay up and then go down. And we're going to have to do the same thing back here. So it goes up, stays up a bit, continues to stay up, continues to stay up, and then down into the sink. Alright, so that is that. Upgrade the last belt so that it can handle 180. And just like that, we have rocket fuel. How is power going? Is power a crisis? No, still have a decent bit of a gap. So now we go up to the next floor, which is where we actually do stuff with the rocket fuel. And fortunately, this floor had no refineries on it, so it doesn't have to be ridiculously tall like previously. Just have a nice bit of extra space. So now we have to figure out how many fuel generators go in a line when fed rocket fuel. So let's see. Rocket fuel is 4.167. Why is that the number that it is? 600 divided by 4.167. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. So that's like hundreds upon hundreds of fuel generators. Oh gosh. Yep. Well, this is going to be my life for the foreseeable future, I guess. I'm going to be placing down fuel generators forever. Wish you luck. Thank you. I'm going to need, well, it's not so much luck as a huge amount of patience to place down like hundreds upon hundreds of generators. Gosh, maybe I should have thought this through at some point and be like, maybe I should calculate how many generators I'm going to have to place. But nope, I didn't, and now here we are. Alright, so let's get a floor hole here. Just like anywhere. Hit some random buttons that I didn't mean to. But now we have this. Alright. I do have a fuel generator blueprint. Can I use Blueprint Designer Mark II to fit fuel generator manifold? Oh, I have to actually place it in. Obviously. Alright, do 2 fuel generators fit side by side in this? They do. Well, that will speed up my clicking by like 2x. Hang on. What have I done? The classic hitting some buttons you don't fully understand. Alright, well, let's get those in. Let's get those in. And let's attach the power. Alright, and I don't suppose, yeah, I mean, those are right up on the edge on both sides, so there's nothing I can do with sneaky, like, oh, fit 4 in. That's just impossible. Alright. So now we can call this fuel generator manifold. Save it. Clear the blueprint designer. Alright, so now we get to start placing. I guess we'll do 1 floor per pipe. So I think we're about to find out if the map has an edge. And also we're about to find out what the weak link is in my dimensional storage. Probably like motors or something. Alright, let's keep placing these. I'm actually just going to be placing fuel generators for the rest of my life. There's no way I need this many. Wait, I have an idea. And the idea is power shards. So if I power shard the fuel generators, then they'll use more fuel. Alright, so we're definitely doing that. That will like reduce the number of generators I have to place by a huge amount at the cost of a ridiculous number of power shards, which I will have to go and grab, I guess, at some point. Alright, we hook that up. We hook this up to that. And we say, please overclock. So yeah, this is a lot faster. And I think I will even create a blueprint for it. Right, and I need to hook all of these power lines together so that the whole thing is connected in. Alright, well, that's a bit of a bump to power production at least. So now it's up to 10.42. So 600 divided by 10.42 is almost 60. I'm going to need more power shards. I'm going to need so many power shards for this. It's not even funny how many power shards I'm going to need. Alright, so then this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So this is 1/6 of the total that I need for my first pipe of rocket fuel. Yeah, this is going to take a minute. Let's get a blueprint designer down. Let's load the fuel generator manifold. I do not have the resources to load this blueprint. Okay, well, motors are at 19 and going up very slowly. I think we have used our entire motor supply. So that's interesting. That is not what I expected to happen. Alright, well, let's head up to the motor factory. We have 20 minutes left in the stream, and I think we're going to use that time not to repetitively place a billion fuel generators, but instead to check out the motor factory, see if anything's wrong with it, or if I've just used my entire backlog and it's just producing slower as a result of that. And then we're going to start worrying about power shard production, I guess, because we're going to need to manually produce power shards in order to get the hundreds of them that I need. The inf soup mod. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not using any mods for this particular game. I don't know, just haven't gotten around to looking at them, figure out what's important, what's not. That's really not so bad. Alright, let's head up to the motor factory, see if anything is wrong there. And as I'm sitting in this tube, I remember that I once again have forgotten to Google how to make hypertube cannons. And surely I will remember next time. I will remember to Google it next time. I know that they exist. I do not know how to make them. But here we are, sitting in a hypertube, passing through some random radiation. It's really simple. Yeah, if you could tell me, that would be helpful. I know I've seen I've seen some setup, but I'm not quite sure how they got it to work. Alright. Hypertube, please be quick. Alright. And this is the midway point, and we go into the next one. It's hard to explain when you can't show it. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, I'll Google it later. That's fine. Alright, we are getting there. It is quite annoying that my hub and my power production plus everything else are on literally the opposite sides of the map from each other. But we're almost there. Here's my main blueprint device. Alright, so first of all, let's check motors again. Is it just slow? It is just slow. Alright, second of all, let's check. Synthetic power shards requires time crystals. And time crystals are just in this. So I guess I can get to unlocking these. Fused frames, cooling systems, radio control units. Not quite. Don't have the inventory space to actually do it fully, but whatever. Instead, we are going to head in yet another header tube. So this will get us to the motor factory. Well, this will get us to the steel factory, which then gets us to another hypertube to the motor factory. So off we go. Is the coal power plant? Some of the coal power plant is still producing. That's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to drive past all of the old obsolete power plants. Alright, then this hypertube takes us to the motor factory, and we'll see if there's anything wrong or if it's just that slow. Bumped my mouse. Alright, through the spooky caves. And out the other side will be the motor factory. And here we are. So is this operating at 100%? Everything looks green. Except, wait, maybe that last one isn't green? No, it's blue? Right, I overclocked you at some point. And then, yeah, so it's just empty. I could upgrade that to Mark II while I'm here. And 12.5 per minute is not a lot of motors. Especially not when it's actually just the default of 5 per minute, which is what it actually is. So I guess I have sloops in my inventory, so I can do that. Make it a little bit better. But unfortunately, there wasn't some major problem. It was just an old factory that I built a long time ago, which isn't producing very quickly. So at 10 per minute, it takes like 5 minutes to build up enough motors to get one. Alright, so this is like 30 motors per. So it's like every 3 minutes I can place down one of these. And yeah, this is gonna take forever. Alright. I guess I'm gonna have to like leave it running overnight or something. Probably not even overnight, probably just a couple hours while I'm doing something else. I can leave that running and it should rebuild the motor supply. Now, though, we're going to look more into the time crystals. Try to get some synthetic power slugs going. That would be pretty convenient. Alright, heading through the dark spooky caves again. I haven't looked at all at any of these things. Why are the spiders just standing on the tube? They can't get me in here. Alright, so we're gonna head back. We're gonna unlock matter conversion. Although we are, unfortunately, going to have to wait for dimensional storage. So let's actually check now. Alright, cooling systems are good. Radio control units are good. So I'm going to need another 100 cooling systems, but that'll take like a minute, which means it should be there by the time I get through the tube. Alright. Heading through the tube, about to unlock matter conversion. Alright. Almost there. This tube is thankfully much shorter than the others. It's the first hypertube I built on this world. This hypertube was built back when that was quite a lengthy trek. Now with rockets and hover packs and stuff, it's only marginally quicker than just walking, but alright, let's grab cooling system. And more of those. Boom. Alright, matter conversion unlocked.
Milestone reached. The converter uses strange alien matter, abbreviated to SAM, to break down and transform materials at their most fundamental levels. I am sure even you can appreciate the power to manipulate atomic bonds. Most importantly, you are now able to locally create fixite, a highly adaptable synthetic metal, ideal for any kind of construction. It is everything we need to save the day, and perhaps its admirable qualities can inspire you.
Alright, so we have time crystals, which are made from diamonds, which are made from coal in the particle accelerator. Lovely. I do love making things in the particle accelerator. That's my favorite building, actually. I don't know why I was looking in there. So it's going to require like 100 of them. It's really not that many. Alright, so let's just head right... yeah, let's just head right back to the... Let's head right back to the coal. And I guess we'll finally turn off the last of the coal power plants and use it to make diamonds. Alright, so the coal is coming... Alright, so we can... That is important for something, probably. These coal power plants are not important. So if I just take these guys down, they're hardly producing any power anyway. Alright. Coal power... At least that level of coal power is disabled. let's take down this one as well. What? How and why? Alright, so nothing actually powered off. It was just a weird false alarm, I guess. Well, that was terrifying. But I don't think anything actually happened. I don't think anything actually happened, so we're just gonna move on. And empty all this junk out of our inventory. And pick up the dismantle crates. And then immediately throw them away. Alright, that is all the dismantle crates in the immediate vicinity. So now we have all of this coal. So let's slap down a freaking particle accelerator. And split some coal off to make diamonds. So in order for this to run at 100%, I would need a silly amount of coal. I don't have a silly amount of coal. I have a vaguely reasonable amount of coal instead. I guess I can make that even higher. Wait, this is supposed to be coming from this one. Alright, so this might have unexpected side effects on that. But that's fine. I think that's just creating turbo fuel for jetpacks. I don't think I have that much turbo fuel actual power. Alright, so then power this on. And we are officially making diamonds once we get these belts moving at a reasonable clip. Alright, and that is going to use a ton of power. Just to check. Yep, and of course it's particle accelerator, so it's not even like sensible and consistent. And now the other thing I needed was a converter, which means I'm gonna have to craft some of the stupid things. Alright, let's get a crafting bench. I'm gonna automate these at some point. Some point soon, SAM fluctuators are being automated. Probably next stream. Probably next stream I'm going to finally automate SAM fluctuators and do some other minor housekeeping stuff. How many do I need? Like 100? That's a lot. Converter. Yeah, I need 100 of them. That's so many. Which means we need to wait for them to show up. What are fix-it stuff made of? Fix-it ingots are SAM stuff, and then, like, looks like any regular ingot. Alright, let's continue crafting these. Let's look at the time crystal recipe, actually. How bad is it? It's 2 to 1. Okay, that's not so bad. And it's 6 per minute. So it's 12 diamonds per minute. This is getting... I have no idea how much this is getting, but it looks... Looks like it's 70% or less. Alright, let's finish up this crafting. Hopefully this will finish it up. No, it looks like we're going to have to do another batch. We're up to 95. So now we should be 98, 99, 100. Alright, so now we can place a converter. Set it to time crystals. Let me guess, it's going to take, like, infinity power. No, actually. From 100 to 400. It's not nothing, but it's also not huge. Alright, so it's powered on. It's got that. Now it just needs to output into a box. And I'm going to need to do more. I need to craft another 10 of those guys. How often do you stream? I stream, well, I stream from 2 to 5 every day. I tend to alternate between Satisfactory and Magic the Gathering. I'm playing Satisfactory today when I would normally be playing Magic the Gathering because I just kind of felt like it. But normally I would do Satisfactory on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Magic the Gathering on Tuesday, Thursday. So yeah, that's my schedule. Alright. Time crystals are being made. And that takes 12 diamonds per minute. This is giving me probably like 15. So that's nice. And power is still manageable. Power is still manageable. We have time crystals set up. And how much is this messing with this? Looks like not at all. Looks like that's still getting plenty. So that's good. Alright. Well, this is down to 44 per minute, which is fine. Let's see. Not really much more to do around here, except set that to 15 per minute in hopes that that's closer to what it is. And let's see, it's 5:01. Alright, I think I'm going to end the stream here. We made some good progress. Now we are on the power side of things. We are just in the place a billion fuel generators phase. And we are also slowly but surely making our way towards having more power shards than we know what to do with. And that will be pretty cool. So yeah, I will be back here tomorrow playing Satisfactory again, probably. And so yeah, make sure to catch me then.